What's up, folks? Trail talk time. It's been a little while since we've done one of these. Been super busy with GT Junior here, and out today. Got the whole family. Got Tommy the trail dog kicking it. Got my brother Nate and his wife Karis, and got Mrs. GT as well hanging out. Nate and I were talking. First off, Nate does help me a lot, and sometimes you'll see action shots in particular where he's helping me test something, but you guys probably don't even know it because we look very similar. We were talking about stories as kids when we were little. Nate, why don't you tell a little bit about the one that we were just talking about?
So we've been camping, backpacking, hiking since we were very little, and I remember one of the first times out camping when Aaron and I were, we were probably 7 and like 9 or whatever, 7 and 10, and we had our own tent. Mom and Dad and sisters were in the other one, and we had our own tent. And Aaron woke me up in the middle of the night because he was convinced that there was a bear out in the camp. And I didn't hear anything and was half asleep, and was just like, yeah, whatever, dude, and rolled over and went back to sleep. And he kept hearing this bear, so he was telling Dad about it. Dad was like, there's no bear, leave it alone, it's fine. Turns out the whole time it was me snoring next to him. And it happened on multiple occasions. I don't know why he couldn't remember that I snored all the time, but he was always convinced that there was a bear out in camp because I was snoring it up next to him.
We don't have that problem now with our backpacking trips, but as a kid, for sure. So run down a couple gear items here real quick. Using a Deuter baby carrier. I think it's their basic model, the cheapest one I picked up over at REI. And then we added the little shade rain cover for GT Junior. So we'll be doing a video on that soon. We're going about, I think we're probably 2 miles in. It's riding good. No huge complaints with it. There's a little weight on the shoulders, a little bit more than I'd like than on my hips, but that's kind of the nature of baby carriers. It tends to be. But for, baby carriers are super expensive. And this is like the cheapest one still. I think it's like $180 plus the shade thing is like $30. It's like a $200 pack we're rocking here to get my son out in the wilderness, but we want it. We want him to be able to enjoy this stuff and enjoy the experience, have a good time.
Don't feel bad about mistaking Aaron for me or vice versa, because half the time when I know I'm in a video, I have to be like, which shirt do I own? Especially, if it's an action shot or whatever and you can't really see the face very well. Half the time I'm like, is that me? Is that Aaron? I can't remember. Oh no, wait. That's my shirt, or those are my shoes or whatever.
Right.
And that's how I have to identify myself half the time in the videos.
Right. So I'll transfer to one thing. It's not like a killer on the pack on this baby carrier, but the shade thing, which is what you're gonna want to get. You're gonna want the shade rain cover for your kid. The shade cover, I'm 6'2", as you guys know. I feel it on my head a lot. Now it's really flexible. It's not painful in any way. I've never hurt myself on it, but it's just this little thing that's like pat, 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 hitting me, every couple steps. That's kind of annoying. So that's just my height. That's a height problem. But if you're a taller individual, I would say if you're over 6 foot and you're using this shade, it's going to be, there, and you're going to feel it. It's just something you got to deal with. I don't know how other baby carriers would handle that. Maybe even lower and harder and hitting you in the back of the head. Who knows? I don't, because it's my first baby carrier. At least it's not an Osprey. Apparently this year Osprey had a huge recall. Kids are falling out of their packs. So
be careful of that when you're thinking about it.
Be careful with that, yeah. Read the warranty stuff that's been going on before you buy an Osprey. Yeah. And this Deuter is going to be like $100 less than any Osprey.
Dang, dude, they that much?
Dude, like $300, $350, man. It's ridiculous.
I hated I bought an Osprey Amos before they had the anti-gravity thing, like in the last 2 years. I bought it on clearance like the first year that anti-gravity thing came out. So I don't know how that is, but man, it was a 65 liter and we went on a 3-day backpacking trip, so I wasn't like super loaded down. I hated that thing. It was a really nice pack. I really liked the its layout. It had, false bottom and like all that stuff. That was all really nice, but that thing like bit into my shoulders like crazy. And I mean, we only went, what, 5 miles or something like that, the first day. And like, I was ready to just take that thing off and find the nearest cliff and huck it over. Because I was like, I can't stand this thing. It was awful. And then Mountain Smith came through with the Lariat 65, and that thing is the best. That thing is so comfortable.
That's actually a great segue. So needed to get out of the wind, backed up a little bit, but Nate touched on Mountain Smith, and I'm just gonna drop this in here. I mean, regardless, some stuff we've totally bought, some stuff they've sent to us, and all of it is like rocking. It's the most ergonomic dog pack that we've ever found for Tommy, and just works perfectly for him. And then we've done the backpacks for like multi-day. Ashley, like when we went to Alaska a year or two ago, she took this one for her DSLR. And you're doing like a backpack today?
Yep, this is the Approach pack, and honestly, it's the most comfortable backpack I've used ever. I'm gonna say that because I don't feel any strain on my shoulders. It feels really even, and it's just really comfortable.
And you got like what, 20 pounds in there?
Yeah, 20
all
pounds.
The gear load out. So, I mean, Mountain Smith has got it dialed in. Not only is it like great products that are like really functional, but they know it's a good product, and then they're not gonna like rip you off with it. They're like, hey, we're gonna give you like a great product at a great price that's tough, durable, ergonomic, and comfortable. And GT Junior agrees. So if you're just thinking about packs, regardless if we reviewed an item or not, or just gear in general, tarps, sunshades, tents, you name it, I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, go check them out for sure when you're thinking about anything, really.
Yeah, they're like one of the first companies I look at for like outdoor, like hiking, camping, backpacking gear, regardless. Well, folks, for the first time, GT Junior being on the trail, I'm gonna wrap up this trail talk video. One last thing, I know you guys ask me from time to time, hey, where'd you get those sunglasses? So I have 2 eye protection systems for like out in the woods or just in general. I don't like spending a ton of money on eyewear in general. I think the most expensive pair of sunglasses I've ever owned was like 30 bucks, 40 bucks maybe. So Body Glove tends to be my sunglass of choice when I'm wearing sunglasses. That's what I have on today. Picked these up at Ross, 7 bucks. Kind of the retro 80s style that I had as a little kid. Just kind of getting back into style. Found these, boom. UV and UVB or whatever the other one is that needs to block and protect. Has it. Good to go. My aviators, our Body Glove, my wife's glasses, Body Glove. I think hers was the most expensive I've ever paid, like 35 bucks or something. I don't know. Anyway, or just like Winchester, or whatever the brand is, style of shooting glasses. And that's what I usually wear. So if I remember with some of the things we discussed today, I'll try and throw in like a big link over to Amazon. It's a great way to help support what we do, help us get gear. I bought this Duder pack, bought these glasses. I mean, whatever, just the information you guys get helps us continue to do what we do. Take the camera with us. When you guys use those hyperlinks, we get a kickback from Amazon. And even if you're not buying items that we review on Amazon, so if you use those hyperlinks and you go buy dog food, that's still a free way to help support the channel. We get a small kickback because you used our links. So anytime you guys use those links, regardless for the product you see in the video or not, I mean, it could be jewelry, it could be clothes, furniture, whatever, however, when you use that link, it takes you over and then you can just search whatever you want. Boom, good to go. So I appreciate you guys doing that, helping support the channel in that way. You guys are a huge support and make this channel possible. Viewer funded channel. So as always, guys, thank you so much. Stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.